This week, we pour one out for Top Dollars Balls. Oh, welcome everybody to this week's episode of the Cream of the Crowd podcast. I'm joined, as always, by my two lovely compadres, KJ and Olas, for another week of gaming and wrestling. God damn, I can't even get through the fucking bit. Jesus. Hostility.
Your mom's a hoe.
That sounds like a TNA owner right there. That's what. You don't even know my mom. That's just rude. My mom watches this sometimes, I guess. She says we curse too much. So this is going to be as PG.
Well, that's total fucking bullshit. You know that. Come on, man. We keep it as PG as fucking possible in here.
Mom, it's not me.
I think everybody just needs to chill the fuck out.
No, the best part is her telling my dad that he needs to have a talk with his 30-year-old son that doesn't live with him.
Yeah.
Mom, it's not a phase. It's just who I am. Well, but on a different note, we have some stuff to talk about tonight. A pretty Ubisoft heavy this week in Geek, just because it is a bit slow this week as far as gaming news. Nothing crazy that I think is worth talking about.
Speaking of slow, here's Ubisoft.
Ubisoft, yeah. So Ubisoft had their yearly, what would you call it? I'm trying to think what the word would be.
Showcase?
No, like their yearly revenue meeting, I guess.
Oh.
And some things came from it. So, two good or two bad, one kind of good that Olas might actually be kind of happy about, which is weird to have Ubisoft and Olas is happy in the same sentence.
Yeah. It's like 2009 all over.
Yeah. So the good part, we'll start with that because there's more bad than good. This will be easier to get through.
Great. I always like to end on a negative note.
Yeah. So during the annual review, they kind of talked about a few things that were in the works at Ubisoft. Obviously, they touched on Division 3, which has been kind of known to be coming out. Still no time frame on it, but they still state that they're actively working on it. But the other thing that was mentioned was a first-person Ghost Recon game. About them taking it back to kind of the original style of Ghost Recon. That I believe they said it is in early development. They did state that it'll be completely unlike Ghost Recon Breakpoint, which was the most recent Ghost Recon they released, which thank fucking God, because that didn't work.
It'll be unlike our worst fucking injury. Yeah. Okay, good.
But no, they in short words confirmed that it was in the works.
Now if they could just give me a Rainbow Six like Vegas, that would be great.
They're just kind of hoping. I don't know, that'd be great. I would love that. I wish they would, because as much as I like Siege, and I'm gonna play Siege X just to see.
It's the same shit.
It is. I know it is. You and I both know that that's the case.
It's no, but I mean, like literally.
Yeah.
So it was like, hey, you already have this in your library, and I'm like, oh,
yeah,
okay, never mind. I've been playing this game for like fucking 10 years. I'm okay.
And then the other thing they kind of mentioned in this meeting towards the end of it, from what I'm reading, is a somewhat rumored, I hate how they phrase this, a rumored confirmation. I feel like you can't have those two words in the same sentence. But a rumored confirmation of Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag remake to be in, which I think we all kind of expected. That seemed like if they were going to remake one that, I mean, they've done all of them but that one up until this point.
They definitely redid that for newer gen. But
did they? Okay. Well, I mean, more of like I guess as far as remakes, like where they've done like the Ezio collection, they've remastered 3. I guess more of a full-on remake of it, not so much a port upgrade. I don't know what that looks like. I don't know what the differences are nowadays. Remakes have become such.
Yeah, I don't know, because 3 and 4 came out 4 especially, but came out like during the transition from PS3 to PS4.
Yeah.
Now I still had it on the PS3.
I'm trying to think what I played. It had to be 360. I think is what I played that on because I feel like I remember playing the multiplayer for both that one and Assassin's Creed 2 and 3 all on the 360.
I played the first 4, so like 1 and then the 3 Ezio on 360, and then I played 3 and 4. I actually played the rest on PlayStation,
Which
except for Shadow. I haven't played Shadows yet.
I would like to say, out of all the stuff we're gonna remake and redo, Ubisoft can, for the love of God, can you bring back the Assassin's Creed multiplayer? Like, I just really want that
Never will.
back. It was such a well done multiplayer, and it was so fun and so innovative. Just bring it back. Everybody wants it. You'll finally get a W in the column if you just bring that back. You don't have to fix anything with it. Just literally take the well, go ahead.
They have to do it properly.
I mean, really, all
Really,
you
at
would have
this
to do is
point,
just
if you
take the
just-
old one and
Just
upgrade the
upgrade
visuals.
graphics. Right, but it's Ubisoft, so it's like, hey, let's fuck this up here.
It's kind of like Battlefront 2. Like, I don't need new shit. Just take the old stuff that was good and just crank the graphics and re-release it again. I'll buy it. I'm stupid.
Right back.
Yeah, go ahead.
Never gonna happen.
Keep doing what you're doing.
It's not. It will not happen, and I know it won't happen. There's so many multiplayers that I missed from that era that had no business being as good as they were.
Yeah.
Like, especially for single player games that randomly had multiplayers. Like Tomb Raider, I remember playing the heck out of Tomb Raider's multiplayer because it was actually a relatively good one. Far Cry had a decent multiplayer. I know Last of Us had like a version of multiplayer that wasn't too bad. It was kind of Tomb Raider-ish. No, I want to get back to that era of just randomly good single players that have randomly good multiplayers. And then so to continue our Ubisoft promo here, during this annual meeting, they also brought up the terms of microtransactions at Ubisoft. For those that didn't know, last year's indication of revenue states that they got 58% of their revenue from PC games through microtransactions. Or sorry, let me rephrase that. Last year's revenue across PC gaming, 58% of that revenue came from microtransactions, and this was through titles such as Call of Duty, Roblox, Fortnite, obviously leading the charge. Hence is why Ubisoft has said they've started to add microtransactions as their single player games. They state that microtransactions make the player experience more fun for the gamer, is their excuse for it.
They're full of shit.
No, I don't disagree. And this comes straight from Ubisoft CEO Guillemot, that microtransactions make the player experiences more fun because players can personalize their avatars or progress more quickly. The CEO stressed the microtransactions are always optional, indicating the gamers who don't like them can just ignore them. I do agree with that. I do agree with that. And I've always had this mindset that I don't mind microtransactions as long as that doesn't become the focal point of what the company worries on over updating and making the game playable. Ubisoft, unfortunately, is one of those companies that likes to focus a bit more on the microtransactions than they do the game they release.
Yes.
And we've seen that multiple times. And I say this as someone, like, I enjoyed Assassin's Creed Shadows. I don't really know how well that game did as far as the revenue to what they cost to make it. I know I enjoyed it, and I know other people have enjoyed it. But I also know Star Wars Outlaws was a huge financial flop for Ubisoft. So it kind of comes and goes where Ubisoft has that trend of, for every one good game they release 2 fucking duds.
They have to.
Yeah, it's like a sacrifice thing. I don't know what it is. But so obviously this statement came with some controversy among the gaming community. Examples from stuff that EA's done is obviously like Assassin's Creed Valhalla having XP boosts that you could buy to help progress yourself through the game. Let's see here. They note that the microtransactions with Valhalla is a reason that the game earned over $1 billion for Ubisoft. Yeah, so social media pretty much roasted them about this as everybody would have assumed. And like I said, even their current stuff, there's still microtransactions in. Shadows has a ton of microtransactions for costumes and weapons and stuff like that that make the game easier and stuff of that nature. Yeah, so just so you know, if you don't like microtransactions, you're an idiot because it makes your gaming experience way better, guys. Just remember that.
It makes everything fun.
Yeah, it makes everything
The surprise
fun.
the surprise mechanics.
If you buy our outfits, it makes the game more fun for you. You can customize. What's funny is I'm actually anti that. So like I was talking about this with Call of Duty. Is I like the stuff that Call of Duty does that's like actually militaristic style, as opposed to like like they added American Dad.
Yeah.
And I looked
I
at it and
saw
I
that, like,
go, this is
so goofy.
stupid.
It looks so out of place that it doesn't. I don't like it.
It's hard on my eyes to look at because it's just so like it doesn't
So
match the
different.
aesthetic of the entire game, as well as like the Beavis and Butthead ones. Like I don't care for those, but like I
Like-
enjoy the military style of costumes. Like I don't mind them being kind of funny, but like I like still it being a military, and like they had like a Triceratops where like he's all military, but the head's like a Triceratops head. Like okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. But it's like the ones they've added where it's like fucking.
It's just this is Fortnite.
Yeah, it's just it's a adult Fortnite, and I just can't get behind it. Like Fortnite, I understand because the aesthetic of that game makes sense why they look goofy. That makes sense.
But
And
with Call of Duty, where everything's more realistic, I like it looks
takes
so...
me out of it. I don't care for it. I did see with the Fantastic Four coming out. Did you see the blip that Fortnite did?
No.
So I guess they're doing Fantastic Four Fortnite characters. And
Okay.
in the post for it, they announced that the Fantastic Four skins are going to be coming available in the next week. And I go, really? Somebody didn't read that and went, that kind of sounds wrong. That the Fantastic Four skins are all going to be in Fortnite. It's like the Fantastic what now? Like, and they did what to the Fantastic Four skins?
They did a what now?
Gotta love it. You know, people just not reading through their. I just understand how you read that and don't. Maybe it's because my brain's the way it is. I don't know. And then so to close out kind of the Ubisoft, we'll get Olas's opinion when he gets back on because I'm sure he'll have some opinions on some of these. The one of the other bigger parts of obviously this annual revenue review is they talked about the Stop Killing Games petition.
Yes.
And so obviously if you had your head under a rock or you haven't heard about what's his name that his dad worked at Blizzard Pirate Software, that was his
He
name.
worked at Blizzard for 7 years.
Yeah.
He didn't. I swear he mentioned it one time.
He mentions it. Yeah, it's like I think every now and then he'll drop that one.
Yeah.
It's not like he mentions it in almost every argument he ever has. But so they to fill in some blanks for people that might not know the story. So this campaign actually started based around a Ubisoft game. It started around Ubisoft's The Crew 2, I think, which was a live service racing game that they made and then quickly discontinued and killed all of it. Like you can't even play any of the game now. And so this petition started obviously because he wants these live service games to have kind of a end of life phase for these games where it allows people to still play it, but you know, obviously no updates for it. It's make it still playable for the people that buy it. And it also kind of spurred the you don't own content conversation. So they brought this up and the CEO was questioned about this, obviously. And let's see, what was it? So the same CEO we obviously mentioned in the prior one, Gilmont, stated that video game publishers consistently deal with the challenge of ending live services. He says that you provide a service, but nothing is written in stone, and at some point the service may be discontinued. Nothing is eternal. I think that's a cheap cop out.
Because you can just literally sell a game for a week and then go, well, let's kill it now.
Yeah,
And no one can do anything about it.
Yeah, it's total bullshit.
So that they do state that they are in the process of making an offline version of the game they killed, but they're still nowhere near any kind of. Which I don't understand why this is taking so long, but there's no release date for window for it. So like it's weird because I see both sides of this. I understand as a company, you got to go, yeah, like at some point we have to stop giving resources to this. But in this particular situation, this game lasted all of what I think 6 months, and you killed it. The least you
Think
could
about like Anthem.
yeah. Even then, that game still went. I mean, they just stopped updating it, but they kept the servers up for
That's all.
crazy
Just
long.
They're basically just asking, hey, make a version of the game that can run without the servers. That's it.
And I think this is unfortunately a pushback on the live service model, which I'm fine with. I think the live service model needs to go.
As it should.
Because the people that did it well aren't doing it well anymore, and the companies that try to recreate it just suck at it every time they do it. I mean, there's been plenty of examples of this. The Crew 2 being one of them. You know, you had Kill the Justice League be a good example of another one. You know, there's aspects of the live service that I think work depending on how you use it. You know, you have games like Overwatch that have pretty much transitioned into a live service mentality. Then I would even see Call of Duty kind of has become a live service, the way they pump a new one out every year and stuff like that, which you could go back and forth on whether that one works or not.
Yeah.
I do think the Overwatch one works, or this game still wouldn't be pumping out like it is. It still does good sales as far as skins, and there's still a decent player count. Marvel Rivals is another one that is live service, and I think they're doing relatively well right now. But it's just such an interesting mentality of like, nothing's eternal. Yes, we understand that games eventually will need to go offline. But that, I mean, you look at there's Call of Duty games from the Xbox 360 that, although the 360 is not running, you can still find live servers on for the Xbox One.
Yeah.
So what, you know, I think there's nothing wrong with having a plan. At least you can inform your clientele of, hey, this is when we're gonna stop service to the game, and this will be about the detail of when the game's not playable, or not playable, but when we will kill servers for the game. I still think you need to offer a way for players to play offline regardless of an online server, which kind of kills the live service model, which once again I'm kind of fine with. Olash, you missed only thing you missed is how microtransactions make our games better. Yeah, that was the response I expected. Basically, this Ubisoft CEO that's really just doing a great job tonight stated that it makes the games better because you can personalize your avatars and quicken your leveling experience.
That's the most flexible motherfucker I ever met in my life. Because like the way he can just easily put his foot in his mouth is amazing to me. Like how you can just, without even breaking stride, you just whoop right in there, man. Like it's pretty great. Now, me, at 38, I got to flex a little bit more, do some more stretches to be able to reach my foot to my mouth. But man, like he's just going.
Hey,
and I'm proud of him.
But
Really, I am.
Ghost Recon, you know, I mean,
yeah. I mean, it's not like they ever had a string of bad releases or anything like that. Like clearly, that's never happened.
It's like a sacrifice thing for every one good release. There has to be 2 bombs. That's just how it works.
Is that how that works?
Yeah, that's how
I didn't
that
get
works.
That that's crazy.
Only for them though. It's usually only them that ever happens to.
Well,
and I joke. Like I'm clearly joking that I know multiple companies have had plenty of bad releases. Like, but Ubisoft has just a weird knack for having bad releases and then not understanding why people don't want to buy their games. and then not understanding why when they focus more on microtransactions in their game that people stop liking their game.
And it's usually dumb stuff. Like it's not.
Like even Shadows. I mean, Shadows has a crap ton, like especially cosmetic wise. And of
Well,
course,
and
his
that's the problem with modern Assassin's Creed games is the microtransactions for like cosmetic based things is kind of infuriating.
but see, I would understand if there was a multiplayer aspect to it, because then you're just following the same model as your Call of Duties, your Fortnites. But like, why would I care if my single player character looks like a Grim Reaper? Like, I
Yeah,
just
but the other problem with that too is unlike your war zones and Fortnites, those games are free, dude. Like you're paying 60, 70, 80, whatever bucks, if you're getting what was the ultimate at? Like the 120 or something like
120,
that.
yeah.
Some obnoxious shit. So you're paying $120 for a game and it still has microtransactions in it, which to me is just a big fucking spit in my face. Like you might as well just have told me that you fucked my mom in front of me. Like I don't understand how we can get away with charging $120 for a game, which is already asinine because that's
Yeah.
double the price of what the games cost. And then on top of that, you still are like, well, we gave you these couple of things, but still for this skin and this weapon thing and this blah, 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 it still requires you to have, I don't know, remind me how they do it because you've played the most recent game. Is it still like you have to pay for Ubisoft points and then the Ubisoft points unlock it, or do you literally just spend money?
It's Ubisoft points.
Right.
Yeah.
So you have to spend like $30 on Ubisoft points to be able to unlock like this fucking thing or this set of like this weapon goes with this armor set and some other
Yeah.
dumb shit. And it's like, meanwhile, half of that shit breaks like the immersion. And
That
you're
was
like,
my
oh,
thing.
okay.
Is
Like,
like there's aspects to that game because I played it through Ubisoft Plus. So obviously there's some stuff that I unlocked that I guess you could only unlock if you bought like a certain version of it. And like the starting stuff is like some crazy good gear, and I'm like, like see this, like I'm already better than most of the people you're putting me up against at this point because I'm using this gear, and it's like I just want to earn stuff. Like I want to. That's the stuff I miss is being able to unlock, and I think that's where you lose a lot of the people don't play the games as long is because there's no unlockability to the game anymore. And
Yeah.
obviously, like not every game, because like you have your Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2, where you unlock all these costumes and stuff throughout the game and play as stuff.
sure.
But like Assassin's Creed used to be one that you could play for quite a while because there was so much extra stuff to do outside the main quest that you could unlock and bring into the main game, and it just I don't know, man.
What's crazy to me is I've never had so much love for a company that has literally gone out of their way. And I don't mean me directly, like they don't know me personally, but I've never had a company that I have loved most of their games for such a long time for them to just completely go, how can we make you not like us anymore? Like let's release a bunch of things that you're just not going to like, and then let's take a bunch of weird stances on things that you're just going to hate. Like, hey, remember when you supported us for like 15 years? Well, what if we took all of the happy things away and we just changed everything for the worst? That's Ubisoft in a nutshell. Like,
Yeah,
if you think about all the games, like even if you go back like old school Rainbow Six games, obviously unpolished when you're talking about like PS1 era
Lone
and like
Wolf.
even like PS2 era, like not the greatest of quality, but fine, whatever, fuck it. And then you get into like your Vegas and your Vegas 2, where I feel like they peaked in terms of Rainbow Six. And then you have your Ghost Recon, which they had, I mean, what, 6 releases before Breakpoint,
Yeah,
give or take, you know what I mean, whatever. How many Splinter Cells did they come out with before Blacklist was kind of a bastardized version of
yeah.
Splinter Cell? I mean, Assassin's Creed games.
What game in Assassin's Creed do you believe is where it fell off? Where's the start of that to you? Is it Unity?
Uh, I mean, Unity obviously had just a bad launch.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know that they went like obviously I don't think they ever went out of their way to make any of their games bad. Like I
Yeah.
don't want to say that because that obviously just sounds disingenuous. But I do think obviously Unity was just not great when they started getting into the yearly releases. I think it was just a bad formula.
Yeah.
But then like I know Syndicate wasn't a well liked game. I liked it for the most part, but I still think it got really repetitive. I did appreciate that they tried to go in a different direction for like Origins and Odyssey, and I put a lot of hours into those games because hey, listen, it changed up the way the game played, but it did start getting repetitive after a while too. So it's like it's hard. The first game was super repetitive, but still good, right? Because it was super
Yeah.
innovative, and you're like, oh my god, this is great. And then obviously, the second one was really great. The third one, story wise, you can complain about, but like gameplay wise, was
Still
really
good.
great.
Yeah.
4 was solid all around, gameplay and story wise.
And
So
and
yeah, I
it's
think
still to this
Unity was
day
probably
the best ship fighting in a game that wasn't really about the ship fighting.
built for ship fighting. Yeah.
Somehow we haven't
Then,
figured out that one
then
yet.
they released a game that was purely ship battles, and it paled in comparison to a game from like 15 years or 10 years prior,
Friggin'
which is
Skull and Bones.
just strange. It's a strange thing. Like, and that's part of what I mean too. Like, it's such a strange thing. Like, hey, we had this subsection of our game, not even the full. This wasn't our full game. We had a subsection aspect of our game that outperformed a game that had the full version of what we were trying to implement here. It's like, how did we fuck this up? Like, where did we go? Like, is it just laziness? Is that all we can attribute it to? Is it corporate greed? Is it, well, I mean, what are we talking about here? Because, like, again, I know I'm the broken record that brings this game up like every week now, but I mean, the fact that people broke away from Ubisoft to make a potential game of the year because they were like, I feel so stagnant and bored at this job, and I want to make a game that, like, I want to play.
Yeah.
What does that tell you? Like, you got people working for you that are making games that even they don't want to play. Well, then how the fuck do you expect other people to want to play it if you, the creator, don't even want to play it? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, and the amount of stuff we've dropped the ball with, because I still think Defiant, like the X Defiant, is going to be
Oh,
one of their
X-Defiant.
biggest, just fucking, just. You had every potential. You had everything you could have needed to make an excellent. And I wouldn't say Call of Duty killer because you're never going to kill that game. That's just not.
I mean, one could hope, but still.
But you have something that easily, I think, could have filled a niche that people were looking for as far as a classic arena shooter, that didn't have a battle royale that they were more focused on than the base game. And I don't know where you attribute that as what failed there. Is it advertisement? Is it, because that was my thing, is it was so, I think pushing it out as much as they did was a huge mistake, even though I know we're in that group set of like, I want it to be finished. But
Yeah.
like, I think part of it was them advertising it so much about being ready for it and then last minute pushing it out, but not really giving like conception of why they pushed it out. Because like I played that game and I loved that game. I thought it was great. Like it really felt like an old school Call of Duty game. And not to mention you have Call of Duty engineers on that game at the same time. And we couldn't keep it alive longer than 2 years. And I don't understand where we could have fixed that. What the real like pushover would have been for that to really hit mainstream. But that'll always to me be one of their biggest flops of potential. All right, there's our soapbox. Let's hop down from it real quick. It is now part of it is now the game part of our show. So if you're new to us, about our middle transition here, I try to do some form of game with the guys. It's either a variety of things between guess a wrestler, guess a character, rate these characters, pick, of some form or fashion. So today we're doing something I don't think we've done this particular game before.
Nope.
But this is what the internet calls a pick 5 cut 5. And so we have two groups here. We're gonna have a gaming one and a wrestling one. So the gaming one we are doing is video game controllers, which I'll put the picture somewhere here ish so that people can play along. But so and these guys obviously they have it in our Discord call so they can see what they're looking off of. Have you all had time to kind of figure out?
I got mine.
Okay. I guess how do we want to do this? Do we want to do 1-1-1 or do all yours, do all yours, do all yours?
No, let's do 1-1-1. We'll keep it
Okay.
on brand of like topic.
All right. So, let's see. I'm trying to remember based on what I'm looking at. Okay, there's Olas and there's KJ. Okay. I don't know why it was important, but I just it was for my aesthetic. It was important. Who wants to go first? I think Olas wants to go first. I think Olas was.
I'll go first if we want. If I don't know. Okay, I don't know how close KJ is to ready. If he's already ready, but I'll go first. I don't care.
KJ's still trying to stay awake. That's what KJ's trying to do. It's that Slammiversary, man. Got him all worn out.
Come on, bro. Just do like NWA. Do a couple of bumps real quick, and you'll be fine.
Just not on camera. Just not on camera.
Yeah, do it like Sean Ross Sapp and just do it underneath where nobody can see you, and then you'll be fine.
All right. Well.
All right.
Hit it.
All right. So, do we want me to say my keep five first or?
Well, here let me preface this. Even though the picture's up there,
Okay.
I'll go ahead and do. So we have N64 controller, the GameCube. What do we? That's the Dreamcast, PS4, PS5. The Switch Pro controller, which was an odd choice of just out of Switch stuff, but whatever. Xbox One, the Wii, the Super Nintendo, and the Xbox 360. So, what are you doing? We'll do 1-1. So one cut, one take, and then we'll transition. That way, it makes sense. We do this on the fly, guys.
I'm gonna start by cutting the N64 controller while nostalgic.
You're gonna piss the boomers off.
Fucking terrible optimization. Speaking for that generation, since I was alive and playing games consistently when it came out, GoldenEye was cool and all, but like optimization for that controller was fucking weird. The middle joystick with the D-pad on the left, like it was just a weird choice. The Z button on the back, it was cool for shooters. Like that's why GoldenEye was cool, because like you could use the stick and the back trigger for like shooting. It wasn't bad for that, but like everything else was kind of weird. So if I'm gonna keep one, I'm gonna go with arguably the greatest controller I think ever, which is the Xbox 360 controller.
Okay.
I think that's my personal favorite. I know a lot of people rank that as one of the top controllers. So that's my personal favorite. Next, we're gonna cut that Dreamcast controller out just because I'm okay. It just wasn't my thing. I mean, I didn't play a ton of Dreamcast, but also I just wasn't my thing.
Yeah.
That controller just wasn't my thing. I liked the innovation of the little screen in there in the middle, but it didn't really have much use for it. So it was just like, oh, okay. It was just kind of there, and it was a cool thing, but like we never did anything with it.
Yeah.
To that point, I'm gonna go to the SNES controller.
Keeping the SNES?
Super Nintendo. I'm keeping the SNES. Part of that might be nostalgia, but honestly, I just like the way that it curves in your hand. I did like, kind of like how we were talking before about like the Genesis controller, like the Sega control. Like I did like the way that fit. So whatever they did from the like Genesis / Mega Drive / CD controller to then that fucking abomination of Dreamcast, and then you guys wonder why you don't make consoles anymore. Like, yeah, so that for me. And then that's going to be the end of my Nintendo love, because we're going to go to that god-awful GameCube controller and talk about why that thing is awful. So 2 consoles in a row, they went, hey, how can we just make the weirdest controller that nobody's going to optimize properly? I know, we'll go from the N64 to that fucking GameCube controller. It has 2 joysticks, but we're just not going to put it in like logical places, and we're just going to say, "Hey, fuck it." We're not going to optimize it properly. Like, for what I'm going to keep is like the PS4 controller, for example,
What do
where
you?
they optimize their 2
Here,
joysticks properly.
here's the only thing I'm gonna give you some grief over. Is
No,
is
I
your
don't
is
care.
your complaint of the GameCube analog sticks that are borderline the fucking same as the 360? Like it's the same positioning.
They are, but it just felt better. Like the shape of the controller for the 360, like the Xbox controllers, just feels better in your hand.
It's just
Whereas,
funny.
like,
You bitch about that. I look down. I go, wait a second. Aren't the 360 in the
I
same exact
understand,
position?
but also you have to take in optimization.
No, that's what. That's what. It's your list, man. I just thought that was funny.
And that's
A
fine. You
little
guys can
shit.
fight me on it. I don't care. And you can put on your rose tinted nostalgia glasses for like, oh man, I loved playing the GameCube when I was 6. I don't care.
I was 8.
Oh, fuck me. I guess I'm sorry. 2 years off. But anyway, again, PS4 controller, similar to the 360 controller, just feels good in the hand. Like it just felt right. Like it felt natural. That's a common theme for me. Like just the way they feel.
Yeah. No, and
Um,
that's a lot of it too. Just especially if you're playing for long periods of time. Like I don't want to have something that is uncomfortable.
yeah, and um, not listed on here, but like the original Nintendo, just that rectangle, not comfortable, right?
Holding a box.
Yeah. So to go into that pattern, that fucking Wii controller, just a thinner version of the NES controller, but then you're like, oh, here's how it's supposed to work, and like that's cool when you're using it as the wand,
Yeah, keep
but
doing
then
that
when you're
motion.
like supposed to turn it sideways, yeah, when you're supposed to turn it sideways, it's just like not. I don't know.
I tried
I didn't
playing
love it.
Brawl, Smash Brothers Brawl with that Wii controller. It's rough. No wonder
Uh,
the first versions of that Wii came with a GameCube connector.
yeah, yeah, it was rough. Um, And then kind of on brand, I'm gonna go back to the which one is that? The Xbox One. Did the Xbox really change between the one and the One S and the X
No, it's
and
still
whatever?
it's
It's the same.
they.
It's
I
the
think
same
they
controller.
classified as two different, but inherently, I don't have my other one. I mean, it's pretty much. I would say the biggest difference for me is the D pad's different, where
Okay.
it's a not a pushed out D pad, it's a pushed inward D pad.
I have both, but I haven't really paid enough attention because I think between I'd have to look at the original Xbox controller to see what's different. I mean, the 360, the shape was better.
Yeah,
I think that's just the best overall controller in terms of shape and feel and comfort in your hand. Um, But like I don't know, just they haven't changed much, but that's okay. Like
yeah,
you don't have to like don't ruin a good thing like Nintendo. Like don't um and not just because they make me irritated, but my last cut for controller is gonna be that Switch controller because fuck you.
could have been
Uh
surprised.
yeah. It's not a bad controller. It's really not. But if I had to cut one between that and the PS5 controller, I'm gonna keep the PS5 controller.
Yeah,
Um, Again, I think just the way that it's curved to like fit in my hand. I know again this is like really semanticy and like
no, I
weird,
get
but
it.
I don't. Yeah, I don't
No,
hate it. I like
that's
the way it. Oh, is that the all black one?
yeah.
I have the purple and the blue as well as the white.
So,
Yeah. Yeah, the PlayStation controllers have always felt pretty nice to me. Um, Having played almost all of these for a decent amount of time, the PlayStation controllers, the Xbox controllers, the SNES, the Sega controllers, like those are all solid. Um, the Switch one's not bad. I just again always felt kind of cheap and
yeah,
plasticky, even though you spend like $75 on it. So, I mean,
yeah.
if I'm gonna spend like upwards of 60, $70 on it, I want something that's gonna feel like it's not gonna break if I like sneeze. Um And just every once in a while, fuck Nintendo, even though I have the SNES on there, so it's fine.
Broken clock right twice a day.
Fair.
All right. KJ, do you have a general idea?
I'm a simple-minded person. I just don't like controllers that just don't feel nice in my hand.
I think that's the
So,
relative. Yeah, I think just in general, like it's gotta feel. If I'm gonna be using it for hours, I don't want to have
yeah,
hand cramps using it.
like if I had to get rid of 5, immediately Dreamcast, gotta get rid of
Yeah, that's fun.
without question. Second, the Super Nintendo, gotta get rid of.
Ooh, okay. Ooh, just
Uh,
boomers aren't
the
having a good
game.
night tonight.
Oh, GameCube, get that shit the fuck out of here.
I agree.
What the? Actually, the Wii, get that one out of here. I just don't like it. Just don't fuck the Wii.
Hey, Nintendo, guess what? Nobody likes your brand.
Oh no, last one is gonna be an odd one. I hate the Xbox controller.
Which one?
Actually, the one, Xbox
I
One.
get that. I wasn't a fan of it when coming from 360 when they switched it over.
But
Yeah,
it's
and that's the
for
problem.
it's for a dumb reason.
Okay.
Why the fuck does it still run on batteries?
Fair.
Like seriously, why the fuck? Why are we still running on batteries?
That is a great point.
You can get rechargeable batteries.
Yeah, but I mean, you could also just charge your controller.
Just make a battery. No, I shouldn't have to be paying $70 for a controller, and I still gotta buy AA batteries.
You know what?
Why? Why?
I don't hate that idea.
The 360 gets a pass, but
Yeah.
once we get past the 360, why? The PS3 had a chargeable controller,
Right.
so why am I still having to deal with batteries?
And you know what? So I'll add to that, and I'll say something funny. So my TV is over here, right? Like
Okay.
right on the other side of this part of the wall. Like right where my finger is, my TV is here. I typically sit like over here to like play.
Okay.
I have a charger plugged into the wall, like back over here on the other side of the wall for like a Type C charger. So I can like, oh, hold on, just so you guys can see me. I have a Type C charger plugged into the wall. So like if my PS5 controller is running low, I just plug that bitch in so I can still use it and charge it while I'm playing it. Whereas like I was playing, I was still doing like some of the boss battles, like the end game boss battles for Expedition 33, and it was like, hey, your controller's running out, and I was like, fuck, I gotta go downstairs and get my batteries, and god damn it, I don't want to do that. And
See my system.
I could notice that like my dodging and my parrying were not working properly.
See, this
So
is
I'm like,
you and
fuck.
I have very different systems. But that's why I do 2 controllers and I do a dual charger. That way, when one goes out, I can just throw the other one and then grab the other one.
I had that for the PS4.
And
I
I
just never
also,
did it for the
which it's
PS5.
none of them are on it, but I also have it for the Xbox. I'm a creature of habit. All right. So what are we keeping then? Well, I lost track of what you were hating on. It was all the
Sorry.
Nintendo shit's gone. Okay.
Well, it's like one Nintendo thing right left. You have the
You're
360
keeping the
controller.
N64?
Yes,
This guy, I love it.
that's the only one that stays.
I love it.
Like PS3, good. PS4, great. Xbox 360, goated. Like the
Okay.
Switch controller, really haven't played it, but it looks nice. It looks like a controller for a PC, not a Switch. But I don't care.
They were
I
using that
just
on
hate
the
the fact
submarine.
that the Xbox One still runs on batteries.
Yeah, you get
I
one of
hate
those.
it.
Yeah, just plug it in. Yeah.
I don't care. It's hatred.
It's basically an Xbox controller.
Oh Lord. All right. So I'm a little different, guys. I don't know what your guys' fucking issue is with
He's
childhood.
gonna say some asinine shit about the goddamn GameCube controller, and it's gonna just irritate me.
So I'll go in a takeaway, keeping takeaway each. So much like KJ, I never understood why Dreamcast did what it did with its controller. Like the Sega Genesis is an odd controller as it is, but at least it handles well.
Yeah.
Because I played the original Resident Evil with on Genesis. Or no, it might have been 2. It might have been Resident Evil 2 that I played on. I can't remember. It was a Resident Evil game I played on either the Genesis or the Saturn, which they both have the similar controller.
Would have been the Saturn.
Okay, because they both have that kind of like eclipse shaped controller with the 6 buttons and but the Genesis controller was great for Marvel vs. Capcom because it was one of the few that allowed you to have the high low attack for each like punch and kick, which is why I always preferred playing fighting games on that over the Super Nintendo because you had to do the bumpers for it instead.
Yeah.
Street Fighter on the Genesis controller was amazing.
Yeah.
Well, keep in mind they had the Pro controller, so the original Genesis controller only had the 3 buttons.
Yeah.
A, B, and C. Then they had A, B, and C, and then there's like X, Y, and Z or whatever. Like they had the 3 main ones, and then the 3 above it. But those were solid.
So yeah, Dreamcast gotta go. I never understood, and I still to this day don't understand. What we're keeping, just to piss this old motherfucker off, we're keeping the GameCube controller. I don't understand what your all's fucking hate is against this GameCube controller.
Terrible choice.
Like this GameCube controller is the same as the 360 controller. It feels the same, like it has the same ergonomic to it. I would even go like the Wavebird wireless GameCube controller is to me one of the best controllers they ever made. The gray, I don't know if you all remember the Wavebird, like the gray wire, like one of the first wireless controllers that came out during that era.
Yeah, it was fucking awful. Yeah.
No, it was great. Everything about that controller was great. It played great on Smash. It played great on Mario Kart. All of it.
I'm not a Nintendo person, so.
Oh, see, I was a Nintendo family up until like I was old enough. I got PS2. Was like the first non-Nintendo thing I ever got. Then we're getting we're getting rid of. So I'm gonna get rid of the Switch Pro controller only because I think it is one of the most overhyped controllers, and I say that because if you ask like a lot of streamers and all that stuff, I see all the time how they view the Switch Pro controller as like the best controller. I have used the Pro controller, and much like your point, I think it feels cheap.
They didn't start playing video games until they started streaming. I don't want to hear shit.
Like it I feel because I've bought like the PowerA, the Walmart brand PowerA controllers, and there really isn't that much of a difference between the two.
There's no difference.
Other than price, where I can pay $20 for one of those and pay $80 for the other. So that's just gotta go for me. Like I much prefer just using the Joy-Cons and using one of like the controller pads you can put them in because it feels the same to me. Not to mention when I buy Joy-Cons, at least I'm getting 2 controllers out of the $70, not just one. I am keeping the 360 controller. I'm like you. I think 360 controller is, if you were to take, say, hey, what is the controller that you would use for every console across the internet? It would be the 360 controller. It's the analog sticks. I would put this. The only thing that I would critique is I would like Xbox One analog sticks on a 360 controller. I think the Xbox One analog sticks are great, where the 360 ones I didn't care for as much. But other than that, I just all around just was perfect.
I will say I had a little bit of drifting towards the end of my 360 controller.
Yeah,
like where it just kind of moved forward.
They were unfortunately battery killers. I mean, those controllers, like, I think they said they had like 8 hours of battery life. I call bullshit. I don't think they ever did. I think I got 4 at best out of a pair of AAA battery or AA batteries. And then
I don't know. I put a lot of time into Vegas 2, Siege, Rainbow Six Vegas 2, and I think it lasted
I don't know,
a
man.
little
I
bit
always
more.
feel like
Maybe.
I feel like it was every 4 hours I was changing those fucking batteries.
Wow, it is possible though.
Let's see. I'm cutting the N64 controller. I as much as I remember playing so many things on that, I look back and go, yeah, there was a reason I wasn't any good at a lot of these games. Like trying to use this controller. Like that controller was really built for one game, and it was GoldenEye. And they didn't really give a shit about anything else afterwards. Because like even playing like Mario 64, I remember playing Mario 64 with that, and it's rough to play with that controller. Playing it now, like the remake they did, I go, oh my god, this is so much better with like a Switch controller. Like, is at least the mechanics of it make more sense. So yeah, I don't understand how I played that in like Ken Griffey Jr. baseball. Like
Yeah.
that was the only thing good about that is the yellow buttons were your bases. So that was the one good thing, is that if you wanted to throw and run bases, that's all you had to do was hit those.
What I will say in slight defense of that controller, the THQ wrestling games. So like
Yeah.
Revenge, WCW Revenge, No Mercy, WrestleMania 2000. The D-pad, the A and the B button were awesome. The joystick as like the special, so like your finisher button was
Yeah.
cool. But again, those C buttons, those the 4 C buttons were still like fucking mess.
Yeah. Then I am keeping. I'm gonna keep the PS5. I think the PS5, as much as I like the PS4 controller, I think the PS5 just feels better. I think my issue with the PS4 controller is it feels too small. Where like the PS5 feels like a bit like, because I'm so used to Xbox controllers where they've gotten kind of that heavier set to them. When I would like try to use the PS4, I'm like, man, I feel like my entire hand's just like engulfing this controller. um but no, I remember like when the PS5 like first started showing like the controllers and having the displays, I remember picking those up and going, man, this is actually like a really nice, well done controller. I'm the same aspect. I do like that they switched to the charge the controller mentality instead of me having to put batteries. Although, you know, $20 allows me to pretty much do the same thing now, which I get it. I understand. My point is, for $20, I can do the same thing. And they run sell on these controllers more than they do PS5 controllers. More consistent.
They run on batteries.
Well, you
Because
know,
they run on batteries. They know you're gonna be paying in batteries.
to who? They don't own the battery company.
I feel like they do.
That's the whole joke's on you guys. Microsoft's been in the battery game for years.
Yeah.
They had a secret deal with Energizer for the longest time.
Oh my lord, you and your conspiracies.
It's not a conspiracy if it's true.
Lord. So what I got here, I got so I'm gonna I joked on you about shitting on Nintendo. I'm gonna cut the SNES controller. Only because, like I said, I liked the Genesis and the Saturn controllers better. It's just I thought they
I'll
were
still
better.
ride for you, SNES controller. It's okay.
It's a good controller. It's fine. There's nothing.
dealing
I don't think there's inherently anything wrong with it. There was always something about the Sega controllers outside the Dreamcast, because I don't know what the hell they went with that one, that just they played better to me. I don't know really. Other than that and kind of the feel of it in that same regard. This one's gonna crack you guys up. I'm gonna keep the Wii remote. I love the Wiimote, man. I was a big Wii person. Like I played the Wii Sports, the Resort, the Zelda, Mario. The only game I feel like that didn't work for was Smash Brothers. That was really the only one to me that just didn't play well with it. And because you were like, at least Mario Kart, like it's 2 buttons you got to use to do Mario Kart. You know.
Yeah.
And even like I had the Mario Kart wheel where you would snap the Wii remote in and you could drive like a normal car because I was an idiot and I had zero bitches back then. Because I stayed at home and played with my Wii, no pun intended. And then so the last two I obviously have here, I kind of showed my hand a little bit, but I'm cutting the PS4 controller. I'm keeping the Xbox One controller. I just think the Xbox One controller, I've always preferred that controller over the PS4. Kind of like I said, it just feels better. I prefer a bigger controller as opposed to something smaller. And when I say that, I don't mean that I hate the PS4 controller. I think the PS4 controller is a good controller. I think Sony has consistently had, outside the PS3, the initial PS3 controller they released, when they switched back to kind of the PS2 DualShock model. Because I had like that boomerang for a little while that was really wonky, and then like once they got away from that, it was good again. But they've been pretty consistent where, Xbox kind of did a big change going from the 360 to the One. And although it was hard to get used to, I eventually did. And now it's kind of hard for me to go back to, like, even now when I play my 360, it's kind of rough to go back to that because it's a bit smaller. But yeah, Wii Remote is supreme. I don't know what you guys, GameCube supreme. I don't know what you guys are on about, man. Fucking hate childhood or something. I don't know. Yeah, that's the Wii remote movement. Yeah, it's you play tennis,
He's playing with his Wii all day.
Oh Lord. All right, so now we're gonna do this one more time. We'll try to do this maybe a little quicker. We test these things out on the go, and sometimes we don't realize how long they'll take. But we're gonna do a keep 5, cut 5, and I don't have a graphic for this one, so there'll just be a list somewhere. I don't know where. This is tag teams because obviously we had a pretty intense ladder tag team match tonight with Slammiversary, so I thought this would be fun to be on par with topics. The tag teams I have listed are the Dudley Boys, the Hardys, DX, New Day, Edge and Christian, Brothers of Destruction, Road Warriors, APA, the Young Bucks, and the Hart Foundation. So, who wants to go first now?
I'll go first.
All right.
Because mine is simple.
And we don't have to have, you can just shoot them off whatever you want to do. Like,
that's how I was going to do it. First, out the gate, cutting DX.
Oh, okay.
No, if you'll notice a pattern.
Okay.
Teams that both guys could do solo and be perfectly fine.
That's fair.
They don't need to be a team.
So the Dudleys get cut too.
No.
Bully Ray's run was great.
No, it wasn't. Next, Brothers of Destruction.
So are you okay? That's how
I'm just going by cuts.
Gotcha. Okay,
I go cuts and then cutting the Brothers of Destruction. It was cool. I don't care.
Okay.
I really don't. Their run as like a tag team doesn't mean nothing. It's a drop in the bucket for their careers.
I agree.
The next, the Hart Foundation.
Oh, okay.
Better separate than together.
One of them.
Better separate than together. Don't care. Stay by that. Let's see. That's 3. 4, Edge and Christian.
Okay. Yeah.
Because we don't get the Rated R Superstar. We don't get
whatever Christian was for a while.
It's Christian. We don't get the greatest rhythm of all time.
Bro, the CLB.
Okay. Jesus Christ. Met Edge, Christian one time. Kind of a dick.
Surprise.
Last one. Yeah. The last one, the APA.
Ooh, okay.
Because JBL's run is as much as like in the moment, I hated it. His run as champion was okay.
He just didn't want to work Tuesdays. Or no, sorry, that was Triple H.
No, Triple H didn't want to work Tuesdays. Like he was doing good work. So,
yeah.
But that means I'm keeping the Dudleys together. I'm keeping the Hardys together, the New Day, the Road Warriors, and the Young Bucks.
Okay. All right. I kind of expected you to keep the Young Bucks together.
Because who the fuck
Yeah.
cares about Matt and Nick Jackson as singles competitors?
Okay.
Like,
No,
would
I get it.
anyone give a single fuck?
I get it. Okay.
It's not like the Lucha Bros where you could
Lucha.
split Penta and Ray and go. They can do their own thing. Well, one can do that. It's Edge and Christian. One is doing their own thing. The other one is stuck with another luchador because let's face it, Triple H kind of puts all the races together in their nice little segregated bubbles.
You know what though? At least he's not an LWO.
He might as well be facing the LWO.
Yeah,
I mean, they're on SummerSlam, thank God. But
I will say, if it gets Andrade on TV, I'm okay with it.
I feel like it's just out of spite to get these people on TV. Like, look, we actually did something with the signees that we took from AEW. That's about it. And then back to catering.
I feel like Andrade wasn't taken from AEW. It was just like, hey.
I mean, everyone who left
I'm
from
back now.
AEW to back to WWE. That includes Rusev, Andrade, Aleister Black,
Aleister Black
Ray.
on TV.
He's feuding with Damian Priest, and I just don't care.
Hey, that's a former world heavyweight champion.
So fucking what? Christian was a world heavyweight champion. Do I still give a fuck? No.
Oh,
sorry.
All right. Olas.
All right. I'm gonna keep the Dudleys because I mean, together it's just I mean they're technically the most successful tag team in the business between 3 different companies. Technically 4 if you count the time they won the WCW titles.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just lump these 3 together. So I'm gonna keep the Dudleys, the Hardys, and Edge and Christian. So while I am on the same page as you about like singles stars, and we'll get to that in a minute, I think the 3 of them really pushed tag team wrestling where it should have been, and obviously it's taken a back page since then. But the TLC matches and the feuds that they had, I think were awesome. Edge and Christian being like the dickiest dicks of and doing the 5-second pose thing. Like obviously it, Edge by himself had a solid career. Christian had a career
in a different company. Had a decent career in a different company.
He had a good TNA run.
It's Christian, former ECW champion.
Yeah, former ECW champion, former like 2-week world heavyweight champion.
Didn't he kick Randy Orton in the dick to win a belt?
Oh.
I don't think he ever beat Randy. I know he won like a ladder match with.
There's a time where it's like Randy. It's Randy, Christian, Christian. Christian wins it because it gets vacated by Edge. Then Randy wins it. And then there's a match where the stipulation is if Randy gets DQ'd, then Christian wins and he gets to keep the belt. And I think he kicks him in the dick and spits on him. And Randy gets so mad that he kicks him in the dick and gets himself DQ'd in front of the ref.
That makes sense. All right, so I gotta cut. So I'll cut 3 since I just kept 3. I'm gonna cut DX for the same reasons you said, where Triple H and Shawn Michaels had much better singles careers. Don't really need them as a tag team. Great faction-wise, like keeping them together. That's fine. Tag team matches are fun. That's fine too. But both great singles careers. I'm gonna cut the. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I'm gonna cut the Hart Foundation because Brett had legendary run. Neidhart obviously kind of struggled without Brett, but I mean Brett is arguably one of the greatest wrestlers ever. I'm gonna cut the Young Bucks because even without them being singles competitors, I just don't need them anywhere near my vision. I'm gonna keep the Road Warriors. I mean, for obvious reasons, they're one of the most legendary tag teams, and I mean the pop. The Road Warrior pop
Yeah.
is tremendous. I met them once; they were super cool. I'm gonna cut the Brothers of Destruction again. Same common theme where like Kane and Undertaker didn't need to tag but it was cool to see every once in a while, but they didn't really need to do it. Obviously, for like funny reasons, you had like the Brothers of Destruction against like Kai and Tai on SmackDown once, and it was like, let's outdo each other. Like I'm gonna powerbomb Taka, you're gonna powerbomb Funaki, and like whatever, whatever. This is where I'm struggling. I'm between the New Day and the APA. My concern is if you break up the New Day,
2 of the 3.
Woods doesn't do much, which is
Honestly,
unfortunate
they all
because I
don't do
like
much.
Woods. Well, Kofi had singles
Kofi had a
runs.
ceiling.
Yes.
Kofi being world champion was a circumstance of Mustafa Ali getting injured.
Yes.
And the run of his likability because of the New Day.
Yeah.
Now, and then you have Big E.
Former Intercontinental Champion, former US champion, all that
former
stuff.
tag champion with like 7 different people.
Yes. Big E, I think Big E could have done things on his own. But obviously we have no way of knowing because they had him with Dolph and then they had him with the New Day. So like,
yeah,
that's fine. But I think Woods being the odd man out kind of blows. APA was fun to watch, like the stupid door gimmick, the protection gimmick. Like it was fun. Not a lot of championships, like tag championships. So I think I would cut the APA as a tag team, even though they were fun, because you could still do that without them teaming together.
Yeah.
Like being a full-on tag team, and then keep the New Day. I think that's where I'm gonna go.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see. What do I got here? Oh, chill out.
Oh.
I'll kind of do the similar. I would probably do the Dudleys and the Hardys, at least keeping, just because of the same reasons of revolutionizing tag team. Even with the sake of like, Jeff having a pretty decent singles run a few times outside of obvious issues. Matt never really having until later kind of that singles run. Obviously when he took on his broken Matt Hardy, you could make a different argument. But I mean, even WWE Matt was mainly a mid-range talent, like USA.
Former ECW champion Matt Hardy.
Yeah, okay. It's like being a hardcore champion. No one gives a shit. No one at all. I cut Edge and Christian. I'm with KJ in this degree. Although I do think they were a good tag team, to me, still better apart. And even Christian, like I think Christian's had a decent career. He had what I consider a really good TNA run, and has had a pretty successful AEW run. Outside of a few things. Edge obviously having the career he did. I will keep the New Day, just because I think they'll go down in history as one of the best tag teams that have pretty much ever done it. With a repertoire of titles among their criteria. I'm cutting DX. Same reasons, As a faction, they're funny, but I don't really, the tag team I could have done without. Just have the faction and let them be goofballs. Brothers of Destruction, I'm cutting as well. I never really cared for the Brothers of Destruction gimmick, because they're just. I'm not big on the dominant, like big dominant men tag teams. Like anytime that like Kane paired with like Big Show, or Undertaker paired with Big Show, or they paired together, I've never cared for it in any degree.
Onyx likes twinks. Heard.
Yeah, that's what I meant by Alice. Jesus Christ. I am gonna keep the APA.
Huh.
It's bad because I'm losing track of who I'm taking and who I'm cutting. Uh,
All right, so you, I'll help
4
you.
and 3. I've cut 3 and I've
You
kept
you've
4.
you've kept the Dudleys, the Hardys, the
Yeah.
New Day, and the APA.
Yeah. So 4. So I got one more I can keep on there. I've
Correct.
cut DX, Edge and Christian, Brothers of Destruction. So I need to cut 2 more
Yes.
on that one. I will cut the Heart Foundation. Mainly just because I never cared for the Heart Foundation. Like, I like Brett. I just never cared for the Heart Foundation as a whole. I will cut the Young Bucks because it's the Young Bucks, and I could just never give a shit about either of them, no matter how hard I've ever tried. I just don't fucking care. And then I guess I will keep the Road Warriors. Although I stand by that. As good as the Road Warriors are, I do think they are a bit overhyped. I do think they are good, but I think there's been plenty of other better tag teams since them.
I think nostalgia plays a big part of that.
I do too. I think Hawk dying also plays a big part in that too.
I don't know about that because they were pretty widely, well, I don't know how to phrase that properly, like pretty heavily hyped well before he died.
Yeah.
I think they were considered one of the greatest tag teams.
I mean, more now.
Like, while they were active.
I think Hawk dying played a big part in like my generation still viewing them as like one of the top tag teams ever to be around.
Because I mean, we have to remember, to an extent, the two of you and I are technically in 2 different generations.
Yeah.
Just because of the age gap. Because we're what, 7, 8 years? I don't remember.
I'm 30, so.
And I'll be 38 in October.
Yeah.
So
7 to 8.
So I mean, there's time there, like in between us, that I was watching wrestling as a small child.
Yeah.
4, 5, like, so I had that extra time, and I remember them, and then of course you go back and you watch stuff, whatever. But I do think nostalgia does play a big part of it. I'm shitting on the Young Bucks for funny reasons. They're not a terrible tag team. I just always laugh when they're like, "Oh, they're the best." People are like, "They're the greatest tag team that ever lived," and I'm like, I beg to differ. The former EVPs. I did enjoy that they're making a thing of that. By the way, we haven't talked about like this week in wrestling, but I did like the. They're pretty much like just shitting on them, and that's kind of the gimmick right now, is that they lost the EVP status and they're just getting shit on. But yeah, I mean, if you're talking like, hey, in the ring they don't do things the way like a lot of modern teams are doing things, of course not. That's just wasn't the style back in the 80s and
Still
90s
to me one of the most dangerous finishing like team finishers, where like that move never landed and it ever looked like it was safe.
No. One of the Godwins, this is like mid 90s, broke his neck taking that move.
Oh, I believe it.
So because that was a big boy on the shoulders, and then getting clotheslined off of the shoulder. Yeah, like he just landed all neck, like 270 pounds.
You know what's funny is the easiest way they could have fixed that was just by having Animal fall to the mat as well. Like,
yeah,
it was Animal that would be the one.
Because Hawk did the clothesline.
Yeah, Hawk did the clothesline. All you had to do is just do the electric chair with it and just fall back with them, and it just takes all of that away.
It just doesn't look as cool.
I disagree. I think it still looks just as it's still just as a big move with you not letting them fall to their death.
Yeah. Come on, bro. You gotta kill the guy. What are you talking about?
If you ain't dead, it's not a 5-star match.
Right.
Yeah. Jesus. All right. So, week of wrestling. Not a bunch of big stuff, but some decent some decent things, some returns, some first matches back. Obviously, we had, and I know we don't reference TNA a ton as far as pay per views, but TNA had pretty much their WrestleMania.
Mm,
Is it? I thought Slammiversary is there. Is it not?
Bound for Glory is their
Glory.
WrestleMania.
Is it?
Slammiversary is kind of like their SummerSlam.
SummerSlam, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I
Yeah.
always thought it was the other way around. That like Slammiversary was their Mania and Bound for Glory was their SummerSlam.
Because Slammiversary is in the summer. Slammiversary is in the summer, and Bound for Glory is like more in the WrestleMania season.
Okay. Well, they had their SummerSlam tonight. With obviously some NXT individuals being part of their pay per view tonight. And I'm not going to go through every single match. You had two former WWE guys start off the match. You had Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali, which was as good of a match as you'd expect. I still a huge Mustafa Ali fan. I do like Cedric as well. I think they both put on really good matches. But I'm still in KJ about this. I watched so they had Matt Cardona in the system versus Dark Matter, Dark State, Dark Paranoia, whatever the fuck that NXT team's called. I don't know. I don't care. They're all not good. That match was rough, and not because like the system and all them. Well, Fandango had a moment that I was kind of like, oh Lord, but at one point they lost. They forgot who had tagged in. They had made like 3 tags in like a 5-second span and forgot who it was that was the legal man and just picked somebody. And I go, oh,
That's rough.
I go, come on, guys, I can tell which one of you was the one that was still in this. Like, but no, Fandango tried to do a Sabu spot, and it was very much not a Sabu spot. Obviously brings the chair in, does the run up to the chair, which was the slowest run up to that chair I've ever seen. And then when I think Sabu spot, I'm thinking, okay, he's gonna run to the rope and jump. That's the Sabu spot, as I've always had it in my head. That's not what he does. He runs up the chair kinda, and then grabs the ropes and throws himself over the ropes. And even then only barely gets over the ropes. And I just go, all right, like, I don't think we all need to be doing Sabu spots. Like, I think we're good.
Yeah.
But then we had Pledge and Indy had their match, and the best part is just not even 5 minutes into the match, we just get a very loud and audible "she's a racist" chant.
She is.
Which there was no amount of pumping in crowd noise that would have made that go away.
Can't hide the truth.
Yeah. I mean, that's true. And after that we had the youngest X Division title champion. Leon Slater did defeat Moose to gain his first X Division title at the ripe old age of 20, I believe is what we determined. It was a good match. I don't care for Moose, and I know KJ's a huge fan, so I try not to talk about it too much. I've never seen somebody that pretends that they're running so fast and still go nowhere. Like, it's the arm, like the Tom Cruise arm pump, but still goes nowhere. It just kills me with it.
It just sucks.
Yeah.
Fucking sucks.
But I will say, Slater's Swanton 450, the fact that guy just hits that every time and it always looks perfect is just impressive to me. And then post match we had AJ Styles come out and do jack shit. I'd say that in a joking manner. He obviously came out to kind of pay respects to TNA, pay respects to Slater. Everybody chanting one more match like he's already retired. I think they forget he's still an active wrestler.
I mean, they mean one more match in
I
TNA.
know. And I think it'll happen. I have a hard time believing he'll hang it all the way up without having something of a send off in TNA. Especially if you get Dixie Carter there and Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff and let them put it together. I'm sure that'll work out. And then to me, the best match of the night we had was the 4-way ladder match. With you had the Hardys, you had the Nemeth brothers, you had what is fucking AJ Francis and his partner is what is their First Class? That's what it's called. And then
Private Party.
Private Party.
The fucking freshly crushed nuts.
and the Rascals, and obviously there were some very interesting spots in this match. Prior to what Olas's reference, my favorite was AJ Francis just kind of popping Jeff Hardy in the mouth with the ladder on the side randomly, like not hard enough to hurt him, but hard enough to check him. But what Olas is referencing is about, I'd say we're probably 2/3, 3/4 through the match at this point. They take a dive off the ladder onto 2 other ladders. And I don't think AJ Francis was quite high enough on the ladder, or as high as he thought, and tried to jump his way a little further and decided to just rack himself on the ladder. It was pretty impressive. And as a group of guys watching that all at the same time, there was a unanimous, oh!
I'm wondering if what happened was he was worried he wasn't going to clear the ropes. So he just tried to jump.
Yeah.
But instead of like turning his body to like,
well, he jumped
land,
up, not out. Like that was
he instead of jumping like this way, he just kind of jumped and like crotched himself on the ladder, like perfectly 2 feet in between the 2 rungs, crotch first. Like that was the first thing that made impact. And it's like, I know you're wearing a cup because, like, if you're not wrestling with a cup on, like, that's fucking stupid. Like, but damn, that's not really gonna soften the blow as much. Like, even with the cup, when you're landing ball first, like that's not ideal.
Holding the meaning to going balls deep. And then we had Jeff Hardy calling a kill streak or some shit and get a fucking paratrooper ladder down after they ran out of ladders, except there was still one on the stage they didn't grab. And did their bits, and obviously the Hardys did not have to retire tonight because that was part of the stipulation. I think is Hardys were going to retire if they didn't win this weekend. Which I genuinely consider that they might not win this. I thought this might be the farewell tour. But they did in fact win the titles from the Nemesis. And then Bully Ray, Bubba Ray, whatever you want to call him, came out and is asking for one more match between the Dudleys and the Hardys, which I was quite surprised because I was under the impression Devon just couldn't wrestle anymore. That was so maybe it'll be Spike. Maybe that'll be the twisted Spike Dudley that'll come out.
No, that because I mean they made reference to Devon.
Yeah.
So now if they do that, it's kind of shitty because they had like the crowd was chanting for Devon and he made reference to Devon.
Yeah.
So then if it's like, oh yeah, we got Big Dick Dudley instead
Big Dick Dudley.
from fucking old school ECW, like that's just not.
Oh man. Yeah, I hope he's cleared. I'm curious if the Dudleys still have it in them. I know Bubba's still pretty active in the spotlight as far as obviously he's like a coach in LFG and does stuff like that. But for all intents, it's like I know Devon's just he's either a producer or he's a manager of some degree behind the scenes. So I was quite surprised by that, but I'll be interested to see that. And then we had the very interesting choice tonight that not one but 2 of the company's titles, the women's TNA title and the men's TNA title,
the main title,
both some reason are on NXT WWE wrestlers. I don't get that. Like that's a really weird thing to, like, I don't know. I don't know how to make it make sense to me.
I'm hoping there's a payoff somewhere. I'm not holding my breath for it, and I'm not thrilled with what they're doing, but I'm hoping there's like a, hey, we're kind of blue balling everybody before we pulled the trigger.
Yeah.
But like, it'll just make the victory that much sweeter, I guess. I don't know if that's, I'm hoping to God that that's what they're doing, but to have both of your top, your top men's belt and your top women's belt on NXT Superstars is not the best choice.
Because
I didn't mind when it was like, hey, Trick won, and then like eventually he's gonna drop it to whoever he drops it to. But having Trick and JC at the same time, and that's not a knock on either one of them,
Yeah.
but having both of them be the champ, unless
one of which already having a title, having an NXT title.
The only other thing I can think of is it kind of opens the door for her to lose the NXT women's title.
Yeah.
So it's not as big of a blow, but I'm kind of hoping whatever like NXT pay-per-view they do, was the Heat Wave is the next one, I think. So I'm hoping like they both lose the titles at Heat Wave. You know what I mean? Like just to make up for the fact that Slammiversary didn't have. I know everybody was clamoring for like Mike Santana to go over. Especially in New York, that would have made sense. But
I definitely, once the women title went, I definitely assumed Santana was winning the men's match. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, there's no way they're gonna have both titles be by NXT people, and I was proven incorrect.
And then TNA did what TNA does.
Rolled over. Like it. Jesus. And what's worse is which I don't know, the CEO owner or whatever you want to call it, that was there. I forget his name offhand. Just the depression and him handing those belts to JC, where it's like, kill me.
I think he just doesn't want to be there at all.
I agree. I don't think he does either. But outside of that, so what? I haven't kept up with AEW this week. So what's been the post all in downfall here?
I mean, Hangman opened the show, which is the most sensible thing to do. Big babyface victory, so he could, in the most babyface way possible, thanked everybody that helped him. No, I'm serious. Like in the biggest baby, like you had these this dickhead champion with his awful group, and then you have this guy like, hey, we did it together, like basically saving TNA from the Death Riders, which I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, thank God at this point, kind of thing. So
yeah,
they're setting up Tony and Athena.
Okay.
Which I'm sure will be amazing. But she kept the door open for Mercedes as well, which
is Athena
I'm
officially
sure will again
in AEW, or is she still
Yeah.
ROH?
She's been in. Yes, and she is technically number one contender for the AEW Women's Championship because she won the casino.
I was going to say she won the not Money in the Bank contract.
The not Money in the Bank, Money in the
Bank. It's her and MJF.
The Money in the Bank when we want it to be the Money in the Bank.
Yes.
Or the oh man, what was it? The Feast or Fired? What the fuck was the TNA one where they had the like briefcase where you could like cash in your shot?
Number, the numbered cases where like one is actually just a pink slip.
Yeah.
And that's how they fired people.
Feast or Fired. Yeah. And then one was like for the X Division title, and the other one was for like the main title or something like that. Yeah.
Or you cash in the X Division title for a shot at the world title.
Yeah.
Fucking stupid.
I actually don't hate that idea, but it does kind of devalue the X Division a little bit. Like,
what if we could do that with the Intercontinental United? Like,
it shits on the belt.
Just cash
a little bit, yeah.
Not even a little bit. That just means like, what's the point of winning this belt if you're just
It's supposed to be the stepping stone to like the main belt.
yeah, but that just like why
yeah, it's a weird semantics where
why
you
would
could
it,
be like, I get it, but also it does shit on the
that
belt.
means everybody's gonna be gunning for that belt because it's a guaranteed title shot at the big belt.
Yeah.
And that makes anyone who held it longer than it takes to cash it in feel stupid because
Like kind of
why
dumb for not. Yeah.
yeah, immediately just I guess. John Moxley's gonna feud with Darby. Cool.
Battle on Mount Everest.
King of the Mountain match.
King of the Mountain. Yeah. A little on the nose, but I like it.
But
I'm trying to think what else I remember from All In as far as
Will Ospreay's off TV. Kenny Omega's off TV. Samoa Joe's off TV.
is Osprey
Ooh.
hurt?
No, they're just taking time off.
Not
okay.
technically, but yes, according
He's a
to
little
like
bit-
storyline.
Oh
He's
yeah, because
banged up.
they took him out on a
Yeah.
stretcher at the
So the report is he's a little banged up and it's like taking some time off. Cool. That builds up to All In. Not All In. All
Out.
Forbidden Door.
Out.
No, Forbidden Door.
Yeah. Okada got new entrance music
Okay.
By
and
a-
the new like entrance like lighting and different like they're making him look the way I had hoped they had made him look a year ago.
Yeah.
They're treating him like Okada and not just like
Another
Young
guy.
Bucks buddy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Well, yeah, they're not the EVPs anymore. He doesn't need friends.
But
like
they're
that.
also they're trying to build up the new unified title.
yep.
So,
So he had a squash match, but he looked super fucking serious. He looked almost like bored because like he was in there with like a nobody type of shit. And
Yeah.
I was like, this is what I wanted. Obviously, I don't want him to just wrestle squash matches for like the rest of his career. But like to establish him as the Rainmaker, to establish him as the guy from fucking Japan that you're supposed to like revere. I think they did a really good job at kind of building that back up. You still had to deal with Don Callis, but
Gross.
I still think presentation-wise, I thought it was great.
Okay.
And then they're teasing, well, not teasing. I mean, they're pretty much alluding to him and Swerve, kind of going back and forth.
as a way to build up the new title, because what better way to build up this as a secondary world title than have the first few be with a former world champion?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
The design is growing on me.
it looks better in person.
So like the graphics for it always kind of make it look a little shittier, but like seeing it on him looked a lot better. Because they implemented the crown aspect of like the crown, but it's not as big and obnoxious as the Continental title. And then because I did really like the international. What was it
Yeah.
called originally? Was it just the
All Atlantic.
All Atlantic? Okay. Why did I say North America? Oh, that's the NXT. My bad. Yeah,
North
I
Atlantic.
I really like that title design, but like it's growing on me as I see it more, not as like a still photo kind of thing. I like it a lot better.
Okay.
I like AEW's title designs far more than I like most of WWE's.
Fair enough. Well, speaking of WWE, so we've had some returns and we've had some signings, or some forced signings, which I'm sure will legally hold up in court. So we had John Cena and Cody Rhodes meet for the first time since Cody Rhodes won King of the Ring, or whatever they're calling. I think it's still King of the Ring. Basically saying he can't do SummerSlam for his mental health is kind of the gist. That was an odd, like, it almost kind of felt like face Cena again a little bit, but condescending. Like if this, oh, I'm sorry, like you've really earned this, you know, and like was being like super nice to him, where it's up until that point of him losing, like he was just shitting on him the whole time, and all of a sudden we're doing this. Oh, I can't wrestle. Like I got mental health stuff with work, and I do like him making John Cena sign because I went the second he goes, you know, if my name's on this, like I gotta compete, and it's like, oh, I think I see where this is gonna go. So obviously them at SummerSlam. Does Cena win?
No.
No,
Honestly, I just don't care.
that's fair. You know what? Uh I hope
They
it.
have lost videos.
I hope it's a double turn. Cena turns back face, Cody turns heel, and just we have a little Cody heel for a bit. At least to like Mania, maybe, and then maybe you can turn him face again. You know what match I'm excited for SummerSlam though is fucking Jelly Roll. Super hyped for that match. It's gonna be great. Said no one ever. And I like Jelly Roll as a singer. I just don't understand why we're doing this. This seems really really odd.
Because they
Unnecessary.
want the celebrity matches.
I guess.
And like you know, I want to bitch about it, and I'm probably gonna anyway. But like, they have always had a precedent of celebrity involvement, and like I try to remember that when I go, this is fucking terrible, and I don't want to see this, and I don't need this. We could just do Drew and Randy, and this would be fine.
Yeah.
We don't need Jelly Roll, and we don't need Logan Paul. We just need Drew and Randy, and that would be okay. Even if it was like, hey, Jelly Roll's in the corner of
Yeah.
Randy, and it's like, okay, that's fine. But no, we're gonna do a thing. I mean, it can't be worse than like Jay Leno, right? Like, you know,
Donald Trump. Get Donald Trump for the match. Hair versus hair.
worst fucking punches I've ever seen in my life.
I did like seeing a picture where it was Triple H and his family and like some of the McMahons and Donald Trump, and it was like 46% of the people in this picture have been stone cold stunned by, by the rattlesnake. It's like, oh my god, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's just uh, we could do without that for sure. I will say I did enjoy the backstage segment with Dom and AJ on Raw.
Yeah, the
AJ
whole
praying, and then Dom asking God not to clear him
not
or
to
whatever the
clear him,
fuck it
yeah.
was. It was like really stupid. And I was like, okay.
I hope as much as they're putting into this, they give AJ just a little like intercontinental run for a bit. Let him beat Dom for a short period.
I mean, that would be nice.
And then so we had Nikki Bella had her first match back on Raw in like 7 years.
Yep, needed that.
It was something. Sure was something. And that's all we'll say about that. Obviously, it looks like they're setting a kind of a Valkyria partnership with her as well to some degree.
You mean Vicar?
Okay.
Oh, sorry, that's
Definitely.
what I meant. It's late.
Can't wait until that Brie mode hits, and then it's 6-woman tag match.
Oh Lord. And then the important comeback is Roman Reigns coming back out after the gauntlet match after Punk wins the gauntlet match to be the number one contender for Gunther. Setting up some form of, I guess, bloodline versus Braun because obviously Seth Rollins injured currently. And there's no extent of what the injury is, I think, as of yet. I think they checked and he was still too inflamed for them to diagnose what it is, but I think they're looking at 6 to 8 months is what I kept seeing.
Wouldn't it be really funny if it's a work?
It's a pretty dedicated one, I will say.
Hold on 1 second.
Got taking phone calls in the middle of a podcast. Hi, welcome back.
I gotta cut this short on my end.
It's fine. This was the last topic. We're wrapping up.
Okay.
But yeah, so Roman Reigns back, and that's where we'll leave it for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. As always, from us to you, we will catch you guys on the other side of the ring, and have a good one.